Hey everybody, it's Bulldog. I just spent the last couple of days determined to get this Commander Luke Skywalker lead to work as a counter to Revan and Malak. And spoiler alert, it did not go so well. So what was going on here is that there was a video going around about the CLS lead countering Revan and Malak, and doing so with equal or lesser speed, as far as mods go. So CLS is 2 speeds slower than Darth Revan. So a lot of people are not going to have a faster CLS than the opponent's Darth Revan. So what somebody figured out was that you can use Qi'ra on your team to call Luke to assist, to generate some of that turn meter, and then have the entire Rebel team go first, take out HK and take out Fallen Bastila, and actually beat a Revan Darth Malak team. Problem is they were facing a team that was not fully Zeta'd. So I went out to try and duplicate this, and they didn't have the Zeta on Fallen Bastila, and that Zeta is actually going to be huge. Not having that is kind of a deal breaker. So we'll jump right in here. I'll show you the team, and I'm going to show you several different battles and how I could not get it to work. So in order to even have a chance, you're going to have a very specific turn order. So very first time I went in, I'll show you what went wrong here. So we're going to target HK right off the bat, and then we're going to call Luke to assist to get that turn meter. Problem is you can't have Han fast enough that he could possibly jump in there in front, and that's what happened in this battle. So in future battles, I actually slowed Han down a little bit so that he would get 100% turn meter the second time Luke takes a turn, because you want Luke to be going and dispelling here. So we just wasted several turns or several attacks on Sith Trooper. And I'll kind of show you what happens if you don't get these guys taken out, because it just becomes a slaughterhouse here. So I think we actually did get Fallen Bastila down. Yeah, I got Fallen Bastila down here. So we didn't get all the debuffs. She didn't prevent us from inflicting expose to do more damage, but I couldn't get around Malak, and we just don't have enough damage to actually get through this team. So didn't work very well here. Yeah, HK goes crazy, so we don't need to show any more of that. So adjusted things so that wouldn't happen anymore. And I kept getting very close. So I fully believe that this is possible, but just because it's possible doesn't mean it's a good counter. My zombie lead that I showed was actually going to be a better counter, I believe. There's just so much randomness here, and you've got to have a decent amount of damage. So one of the first some of the sources of randomness here is, first off, a lot of the damage is going to come from exposes, and you've got a good chance of being resisted. Chewie is going to put tenacity down on, but before that, both Bastila and HK have tenacity bonuses. Even with tenacity down, you still have that chance to get to resist. The turn meter order is hard to control. This one we actually got an optimal turn meter order because C3PO was one of the last to go, which meant everybody else was able to get translation on them first. So then they could, when C3PO went, he called everybody to assist. But you saw previously how Bastila was just a sliver of health from being down, and that's the difference in having that foresight and not having the foresight. So then I get to this battle here, and I was oh so close. So we go through pretty much the exact same pattern, and it's hard to know exactly who to target. I kind of went back and forth, but you'll notice that HK is gaining health and protection after all these turns because of health steal up from Qi'ra. Anytime we get multiple crits on a character, she's gonna grant health steal up. Look how close we are right there. That's the difference, and the heals right back up. That was how close I was to finally having these two down. So I think, yeah, I got Fallen Bastila down right there. So just that slim margin of error, And again, almost got everything down. HK is actually getting more. He's healing more than he's supposed to in this. I haven't. There's a bug someplace there, which is not helping this team. We may have been able to get him down without that bug. I'll have to report that because I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But try it one more time here, and again, just too much randomness. It's too hard to get both of these characters down, and then even if we do get them down, so yeah, it's gonna give us an advantage going 3 on 5, but you still have Darth Revan and Darth Malak to get through, which these guys do a lot of damage. They can get through them, but it's not like once you get these two down, you're guaranteed a win either, because you can still lose. So again, very close to getting HK 47 down. Really just needed one more hit, but so I decided to make a change because HK was getting a little bit of health and protection. So I switched over to Hermit Yoda. So Hermit Yoda is still going to he's still fast, so he can go first. He's going to be able to call Luke, and then he's also going to give Luke a little bit of a bonus to his offense whenever he gets um, called to assist from C3PO. So that could help give us a little bit of a boost. And it it still just was not enough. Several times we get very close to taking them out. See, of course, a dodge. Uh, more RNG that just completely did us in. Han's special attack, if he had a lane of that as a critical hit, may have been enough to get us by there. But then without this, we've still got a mass assist here and an attack from Han, but it just is not enough to get us through these guys. And you'll see how we come very close. Again, that's the difference between that Fallen Bastila Zeta and not having it. If she didn't have that Zeta, we would have landed one more attack, possibly gotten one more expose, and she would have been down. Instead, she lives, she gives us all these debuffs, prevents us from inflicting expose or anything else, and it just completely unravels from there. So the margin between having at least a shot and just being completely obliterated is so thin. I kept trying this over and over again because I thought I would finally get it. I did a total of 15 battles. I refreshed 3 different times. So some of my early battles I had mistakes like where I didn't have the speed right on Han. I thought about trying to dumb C3PO down so that he would be the one who would be guarded and would call an extra assist there instead of like when we've got Luke calling an assist. That's calling an assist on Sith Trooper, so that doesn't help us much, at least on this initial onslaught. But again, so close in this one here, and Fallen Bastila just has that sliver of health. That's the difference in her Zeta and not having her Zeta. So after all of this, I truly believe that this team can win. It's not an impossible match because I got oh so close to getting those first two down, but it's not going to be reliable even if you can get it off. If you're wanting to use a CLS team against Darth Revan, you're going to have your CLS go first because that'll give us an extra attack. Because instead of Hermit Yoda or Qi'ra having to call Luke to assist, you can put somebody in there that can have another attack themselves. You can add another rebel or something. Maybe like Biston might actually fit in there if you're going for all damage. So it'll give us an extra attack and make that a little bit easier. Some extra wiggle room there. So I can see how a CLS team can win if they have superior mods, but if you're outmodded, this is not going to work, unfortunately. So it kind of sucked to do all this work for a video that has essentially a failure in it, but I still wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe some people can make some adjustments and find something that I'm not seeing to get it to work better, or maybe it'll just save somebody else a lot of trouble from trying to copy the video that they saw and wasting a lot of time and resources themselves. So the good news is I did find a counter today that I really like to be able to beat Revan in mirror matches, even if you are outmodded, if both your Fallen Bastila and your Darth Revan are slower, and you don't even have to have Malak at all. So be on the lookout for that video. That one will be much more useful. Have a great night, everyone.